We are recording. La la. Oh. All right. Here we go. Hey, I'm Lacie Jaye. Welcome to the Hey Lacie Jaye podcast. If that's not surprising to you, it's very surprising to me. I 100% had it in the bag that my podcast was going to continue as the Her Life Out Loud podcast. It is a podcast that I started lots of years ago, and I just felt it. I was like, this is it. We're doing Her Life Out Loud. We're going to continue. Even though I've been in a season of completely starting new with my Instagram account, building my business in a completely different direction, I was like, it's okay. We're going to keep the Her Life Out Loud podcast until I was taking a shower and minding my own business, washing my hair, soaking in all of the hot water, which was not chlorinated anymore because we got a really cool filter. So that's nice. But anyways, and I just had this, I don't know if it was an audible voice, a vision. I just had this instant feeling like your podcast is going to be named Hey Lacie Jaye. Am I freaking kidding me? I've already been recording for Her Life Out Loud. And so I've sat with it for a little bit of time, and here we are. We are giving you the introduction to the Hey Lacie Jaye podcast. Isn't that super exciting? I hope this is exciting for you as it is for me. I am learning a lot right now of just letting things flow, letting things be what they need to be, being open to shifts and changes, and by not getting stuck on thinking it was going to be, not sure what to name my podcast or what to do, it allowed me to get some recording, just get started. And now it's shifted into like, no, I think I have a pretty clear vision of where we're going. So thank you for letting me share that. Her Life Out Loud is something that is so near and dear to my heart. The idea behind Her Life Out Loud, and maybe we'll have another podcast on that, and I'll take what I shared and make it into a podcast, but it is still very much true and interwoven into everything that I want to do with this Hey Lacie Jaye brand. And I really truly believe that Her Life Out Loud has a special place in my life. I just don't have exactly what that is yet. And so I'm letting it sit for a minute. And I have restarted the Her Life Out Loud podcast like 100 times. 3, I'm pretty sure. But there's a lot of like energetic ties stuck to Her Life Out Loud, what I thought it should be, what it needed to be, what it was becoming. I shared my faith-shattering story over on Her Life Out Loud right as I was about ready to get started to get back into podcasting, only to have someone come into my dad's business and tell them that I'm a victim and all of these like negative things. And it really shut me down. And so I think energetically it was time for a fresh new start to let things go. And maybe you are in that season with your life too, where there is a time to let things go and there's just a time to, switch things up a little bit. And for me, it was like a closing of not even a chapter, but of a freaking book. And as I launch my website, my brand, this Hey Lacie Jaye, it is like, let's go. So with that being said, I got off a coaching call today because I am, after 10 years of wanting to be a life coach, I finally did it. I get to call myself a coach now if I want to. But I was really thinking about that. I'm like, honestly, I just want to be like the best freaking cheerleader. Like when we got on a call, I want to be the best cheerleader ever. And I have this gift of seeing like inside, like when people tell me their story, I have this gift of seeing inside the business or the brand or that that creative juice that's flowing inside of you that you're like, but this is what I want to put out into the world. And I'm like, I see you. And I am going to be the biggest cheerleader ever. We are going to do this. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get tools. We might be working on a bigger vision for, say, a business, but we also are going to go inward. We are going to, like, pretty much, I want to uncover for you your gifts and then help you understand, like, and remind you of who the F you are. Like, this is who you are. You're freaking badass. These are the gifts that you have. This is the vision. It wasn't given to anyone else. This was given for you. And it's like, instead of constantly like looking outward for everyone's approval or what I should do or what direction I should take my business and all of that, like, that is the world I've been stuck in, into actually going within. You guys, that is something that I'm launching, and I am so excited to share it. I'm working really hard on it. But with that being said, the idea is that I love being able to use tools like human design and gene keys and understanding your intuition, aka your authority is what they call it, understanding your life's purpose, using these tools to truly help guide you and trust yourself. Because I could try to tell you a step-by-step thing of what you need to do, how to build your business, how to make a better life, what you need to do for a morning routine, all of these things, but none of that would matter if you don't actually trust yourself and understand who you are. That intuition and understanding how spirit, universe, guide, God, whoever it is for you, divine, how it speaks to you. Because it is not the same for everybody. And that's what's so cool, is that we've been conditioned in this world that it's like, listen to your gut, or, you know, it's just do it. And that's just not how everyone is created. And so really being able to use these tools to dive deeper, to go within, so that you can trust yourself, so you can build a business, build a brand, build your life in a very empowered way, that you feel empowered to move forward. You trust yourself. And I am feeling fired up. I'm like, yes, this is what women need. And this is why I've stepped into coaching. This is why I'm building out coaching programs in a way that feels in alignment with me and what I want to teach women. I want to see women be revived, to not build up to this 2.0 version of who you think you need to be, but truly strip away all the shit and actually get down to the person you were created to be. Looking at your gifts, looking at your talents, looking at who you were created to be, and then reviving that. I hope that sounds good to you. I realize, like, I have a passion for business, even though I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't call myself a, like I'm not going to tell you how to build your business. I'm not going to give you a blueprint on business, but I'm very passionate about the women who have these gifts or visions within business, within, I don't know what you would even call it, just you have a vision to take your dreams and make them and put them out in the world. And I just want to help you and guide you into doing that. So we'll be talking about, you know, the woo-woo stuff, personal stuff, and probably everything in between, because sometimes you never know what's actually going to come out of my mouth, especially on podcasts where I really work with my intuition and just feel like some things that come out are just meant to come out. And so we'll just see where it goes. But one thing that I am in the middle of is really trying to figure out how to, like, merge, like, life and business and this spiritual, and, like, how they actually all correlate and come together. And when you stop trying to separate these things and try to be this person here, or try to, I only am business and this is business mode. But I'm like, I've done the whole business mode, taking out faith, spirituality, anything in between, and just being like, this is how I need to do it. And here's my blueprint. And it's like so robotic, into what happens when I bring this like woo-woo side. I always say woo-woo because it felt woo-woo to me when I first learned about like human design. But when you start to be able to bring in your authority, when you be able to start to bring in these gifts and your intuition into this business, you guys, that is where life starts to become magical. When you start to actually become this whole person, people like to call it holistic. I like to say when you take a whole ass approach, that actually came from Ben, but when you take this whole ass approach to life, like, you are a whole ass person. You are a full human being and being able to somehow bring it in. I'm like, wish I had a video going right now. I have like my magic hands happening. Like, when you bring this all together, that is where the magic happens. This is where things happen. And I have been on a crazy journey over the last couple of years, which I will be sharing more of. But the biggest part, like, to that is just, like, when you can wake up beyond excited and you literally feel high on life because you're just in the flow and you're doing what you're called to do, and you can like love that life, like you're not fully in total control of your life, but you're kind of a little bit able to flow a little bit more because you have things in place. It's so cool. Like, when was the last time that you got excited to go to bed because you were super excited for the next day? When I realized that, I was like giddy to go to bed because I was so excited to wake up. I had a moment of like, what the hell is wrong with me? I just realized for so many years, I dreaded even going to bed. And then I dreaded the hours of sleep time because for a long time I'd be up with so much anxiety, so much stress, so much worry. I was barely sleeping, only for the next day to happen. It's just like rerun after rerun after rerun. And so I've been through that. And I'm also seeing what happens when you start to really step into who you were created to be, and like this radiance and this excitement. It's like a child going into a candy store. You're like, I'm so excited. Like, yeah, life can still happen and things still go wrong. But like, your perspective has shifted. Like, who you are has shifted. And so it just changes everything. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. I just wanted to share that so many times I get messages like, hey, Lacie, what do you think about this? Hey, Lacie, this. Hey, Lacie, that. Hey, 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 hey. And it's anywhere from makeup and skincare to human design and spiritual things. And what about your faith transition that you've gone through? Hey, Lacie. And I just feel like that is the perfect name for this podcast and moving forward, and me being here to cheer you on, walk you through things that I am learning, and hopefully bring people on to share their gifts. Because one of my gifts within human design is that I am meant to be a voice for other people. And that is why I share my story. Otherwise, I'd be like a little hermit. You would not see me. But there's this bigger calling on my own life that I've had to really step into and say, while I would like to hide away and not even be around people, I actually know that I am called to share my story or share other people's stories or bring people together so that other people don't feel so alone. to create this community, to create this beautiful ecosystem that I believe is going to transform people's lives, that will transform people's families, that will transform communities, that ultimately transform the world in some capacity. So, thank you for being here. I am beyond excited to see where this goes. And truly, friends, I am trusting the process. I am on a wild journey right now, and so stay tuned. I'll be sharing more. Check out show notes. I don't even know what you're supposed to say in these things, but like check out the show notes because I do have some programs that I am sharing, one-on-one coaching that I'll be sharing. I have a love for morning routines for those of you who feel called to that. But ultimately, honestly, I think the best place to meet me is in my inbox, my inbox besties. Join the club. My inbox club is what I call it. Because that is where I can also share a little bit deeper. And it's like where I get to have really great conversations with some of you. And the more who listen will join in and responding to those emails. And so, yeah, I'm ending with this. We just recorded the first podcast of the Hey Lacie Jaye podcast. So thanks for being here.